All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. My name is Polzin with 9to5 Sports. Going to be breaking down the Week 10 core plays here for you guys. Just a quick recap of last week. I should put the fire flames on here once again. Here, 1 second. We'll do that. Boom. Got the fire flames going. It's been a fun run, really, this season, really. The stacking videos, the value videos, the core plays videos, the cash videos, even the ownership leverage videos have been very successful. So hopefully you guys have been taking the information and taking advantage of it. Eventually, we're going to have a bad week. It is just guaranteed that is going to happen, okay? It could happen this week. Hopefully it doesn't. The nice thing about it is we know that we have been on the right process and the plays have been working out. We're going to continue to do that, and hopefully it hits once again this week. If you guys have been enjoying this coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. That does help me be able to help you guys out. But without further ado, let's get into the Week 10 core plays. So I am recording this on Monday, which is a little bit different. Typically, I come out with this video on Tuesday morning after the Monday Night Football game has come out, just so we have all the information. Honestly, just had a little bit more time this Monday morning to come out with this video for you guys, so I wanted to come out with it for you. This slate, guys, finally, DraftKings, and they finally priced it correctly. Okay, Tyreek Hill is not a free square. A bunch of the running backs are no longer free squares. Finally, it's annoying. It makes the slate more difficult, but finally they did it. Like, they have had to do this, and it's like strange that it took them this long to price players correctly. Even Justin Fields last week, like, way too cheap. It was strange. So we're actually going to have to work for it this week a little bit, it seems like. But let's start off at the quarterback spot. I am actually looking at Josh Allen. Okay, currently questionable, expected to play. Guys, Josh Allen has played terrible for like the last 6 quarters, if you will, and he scored 19 and 26 DK points in those games. Okay, obviously the second half of the Packer game struggled, and then just some weird random plays against the Jets. I mean, over the last 6 quarters, 6 turnovers. I mean, that's crazy, but still 19 and 26 DK. I mean, that is crazy. Now he gets a matchup with Minnesota, which, is a matchup he should definitely be able to beat. This is a game in which I expect to be high scoring. This is a game in which I kind of want to chase. And honestly, like, I am perfectly fine playing Josh Allen. Like, the issue with this slate is that we don't have great value at the quarterback spot. We have educated guesses we can make value-wise at the quarterback spot, but I might just be forcing Josh Allen into my builds. That's because, like, Tua priced up now. Justin Fields priced up now. Russell Wilson, you could play. Like, I'd be fine with that. Jacoby Brissett gets a good matchup. Jared Goff against Chicago gets a good matchup. Those are all fine plays, but not exactly players you're like, I need to roster this guy. The one player I have been going out of my way to play, again, is going to be Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence did not need to throw the ball a lot last game. Only threw the ball 31 times, but had a good completion percentage. I like that. Threw the ball 235 yards and had a touchdown. Rushed the ball 6 times for 53 yards. Like, that is all stuff that we like to see. Okay, so he is someone that against the Chiefs, I do think can have a good game. Now, Malik Willis struggled against the Chiefs, but besides that, the Chiefs have had a big weakness in the passing game. Their defense just in general. So at 5.4, I do think Trevor Lawrence is someone that's going to get us over 15 DK points. Not exactly a must play, but on the slate, you're going to see a lot of difficult price points. So we might have to pay down at quarterback once again on this slate. At running back, it is pretty simple. Okay, you're paying up for Saquon Barkley in the best matchup against Houston. I love the fact that he's coming off of a bye because, well, he had just been getting worked a ton. He was the only running back averaging over 80 snaps per game, okay, at about 84%, which is crazy, okay? He needed that week off, so his legs should be a little bit more fresh, and he's coming back against the Houston Texans. This is what I mean, though, guys. Like, Saquon Barkley had been getting this huge workload, over 20 opportunities per game, playing in over 80% of the snaps, and his highest price this year had been 8.1. Okay, for a while there, it was like still in the 7K price point range, which was straight. So finally priced up, but he is someone I do want to go out of my way to play. Then Derrick Henry, yes, even against Denver, should be a strong price point play. Obviously went off last game against the Chiefs, a game in which you thought they'd be playing from behind a little bit more. Just been a stud. Okay, so yes, if you can afford to pay up for Derrick Henry, I think that you would do that. I don't know if it's a must play though. Nick Chubb, basically the same play as Henry. It's tough because those two don't get that much in the passing game. I've kind of been finding myself just paying down. Okay, Travis Etienne is still firmly in play, and I joked on Twitter. I'm like, can I use Travis Etienne as the cover boy for the 3rd straight week in a row? Obviously, you guys clicked on this. I didn't do that, but man, has been paying off. Now, obviously, for week 8, it was the full slate, but still was way too cheap there. Last week was way too cheap, and you could argue, guys, at 7.1, still way too cheap. We need to get him more targets in the passing game. That's what we need from him. But for a guy that has been getting 30 opportunities last game, 27 opportunities the game before that, 19 opportunities the game before that. For a guy that has been getting a ton of opportunities while playing 80% of the snaps, that is insane usage and consistency that we're going to get from him. Like, he should be able to go for 14 to 20 DK points. We need him to get a little bit more targets in this game, I think, for him to really go off. But at 7.1, he is still someone I am firmly trying to play. After that, we do have to wait on some injury news. Okay, if Aaron Jones is ruled out, he's currently questionable. Now his x-rays came back negative. He should be fine, but like, do they really want to press him getting injured further? I don't really know. If he does sit, then yes, AJ Dillon does become a strong kind of price point play. He has struggled recently, but getting a full snap count with the offense kind of designed around his rushing style, it should mean good things for him. Obviously, if you combine Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon as like one running back, they've been great this year. The problem is they've kind of been eating into each other. So at this price point, I do expect him to get, at least 13 DK points with the upside to get more. Should have some catches there in the backfield. And then once again, like if Jonathan Taylor is ruled out, which I do expect him to play, Deion Jackson would be someone that you're looking at as well. Deion Jackson played in 60% of the snaps, and at 5.4, that'd be cheap for him. Obviously, someone that can catch the ball at the backfield. Last game against New England was a game in which you weren't expecting a lot from him. I would say this is kind of what I expected. New England, strong defense, okay? Not a defense you want to chase. Now, the Raiders, they are a defense that you do want to chase. Obviously, Travis Etienne just went off against them. Deion Jackson, if he is the starter, aka if Jonathan Taylor's out, should be a strong price point play. Guys, I do think if Jonathan Taylor is active, he should be a strong price point play as well. It is someone I'm going to be looking at. Given the injury concerns, might not be a core play, but still someone I think I will go out of my way to play. And then I do just want to call out Jeff Wilson Jr. as well. Typically, I try to give you guys a lower than 6K price point play that you can play. Tyler Algier last week, even with Cordero Patterson active, and I said if Cordero Patterson is active, you can still play Cordero Patterson. Both those two had a great game. I think that could be Jeff Wilson for us in this game. He was the leading snap getter for the running backs, okay, over Raheem Mostert. Okay, he had more snaps. And I know Joe Mixon just went off against our last week, but the week before that against Cleveland struggled. Okay, that was strange. That was just weird, really strange. Besides that, Cleveland has been terrible at stopping the run. So Jeff Wilson Jr., let's just say he had 49% of the snaps last week. Let's just say one more week acclimated to the offense. Maybe that gets up to 60. Okay, and then at this price point, in this matchup would be great. A few more touches, a few more targets, and would be a strong price point play. For now, I'm putting in Deion Jackson for the first look build for you guys. We'll see. We'll see if he's we'll see if Jonathan Taylor's active. This is what I mean by DraftKings finally pricing things correctly. I had been saying for weeks, guys, like Tyreek Hill has just been way too cheap. Like, just keep playing him. The targets continue to be there for him. He's going to have a great game. And well, what happened last week? He had a great game. Okay. It's honestly, the reason it's been so successful this season has literally been probably because of Tyreek Hill being too cheap on every slate. That's literally been it. And the one slate in which you didn't want to play Tyreek Hill, you knew not to against Buffalo because they're a strong defense. Besides that, been an easy plug and play. Okay. I don't know. The price point's very high now. I don't know if you need to play him. Like, obviously, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, if you can fit those guys into your builds, by all means, do it. But at the same time, it's tough because they're finally priced correctly. That is the issue. I actually like the idea of going with Stephon Diggs as my core play, my top core play. Obviously getting a ton of snaps per game. Obviously getting a ton of targets per game. Like, it wouldn't be surprising to see him get 10 targets in this game. I do expect this game to be a shootout. And Diggs, kind of a revenge game for him going against Minnesota. If it was in Minnesota, I think that'd be a little bit cooler. But I do like the fact that, probably going to be a little bit more motivated. Someone that I do see going for like 20 DK points in this game. From there, we have a lot of underpriced players then. Chris Olave, playing the Monday night game. Obviously, I'm recording this Monday afternoon. We'll have to see what happens, but I fully expect him to get a lot of targets in that game, and then also in this game against Pittsburgh, a defense that has not been good. Chris Olave should be a great, strong price point play, but he is priced up. Like, DraftKings is assuming he's going to have a good game tonight on Monday Night Football. Thus, they priced him up a little bit. So maybe not someone you can afford to fit into your build. Amari Cooper has been very solid thus far this season. He has a bunch of games over 10 targets. Okay, the targets have been consistently there for him against Miami, a team in which you've been wanting to target each and every game thus far this season. He makes a lot of sense as a play, and you could argue, matchup aside, like, this is where he should be priced. And then if you factor in the matchup, he could be $500 more expensive given the matchup. Allen Lazard is someone that could be pressed into more targets with Christian Watson and with Romeo Doubs probably going to be out. Could be looking at him. I do like Juju Smith-Schuster as well, guys. Played in 83% of the snaps last week. He's just been their most consistent pass catcher. We can see 8, 5, and 12 targets. And 8 targets, like consistently getting the targets. We're finally seeing the production follow up. Juju Smith-Schuster against Jacksonville. That is a matchup that I do want to chase. 6K is just simply too cheap for the guy that is the receiver number 1 in this offense for their most consistent pass catcher, not named Travis Kelce. And then I will say Christian Kirk as well, guys. Like I said last week, Christian Kirk against the Las Vegas Raiders finally got a great matchup. Finally a matchup in which you need to play him in. And we get that again going against KC. Like, it was a rough stretch in there. The results were a little bit better than expected during that stretch. And then last week had 9 targets, 8 receptions, 21 DK points. Really was a strong price point play. And I think he's going to be a real strong price point play once again on this slate. I expect the targets to be there for him, and should be just a player that's going to help you this week. Then I do just want to point out Jarvis Landry as well. He is someone that might sit on Monday Night Football. Once again, I'm recording this on Monday. I don't know if that would really change at all, like my thoughts on him. That might actually help him one more week to be healthy. But he is someone that if he goes out and balls out on Monday Night Football, if he's active, like definitely a cheap price point for him. It probably would be someone people are targeting a little bit too much. So Jarvis Landry, I do think could be a strong price point play. Kind of have to wait and see on the injury situation, but I do like him as a play. And then from there, tight end wise, guys, I do really like Cole Kmet. Actually, in this one, he is the leading tight end snap getter percent wise, playing in like 90% of the snaps. So like this whole offense was due for like a big offensive game. And it finally happened. He only saw 6 targets, so that's the worry. He obviously had 2 touchdowns. That vaulted his week. But maybe they finally saw, hey, we need to get the ball into our pass catchers' hands a little bit more. And going against Detroit, that's going to be a matchup in which you want to target. So, price point wise, still cheap for a guy that is on the field 90% of the time. And that's the biggest reason that I want to play him. But I do like the fact that he finally had a massive week. Should be a strong price point play. But I don't know. It's strange that I kind of want to go with the number 1 passing target in Denver. I'm kind of saying that jokingly, but it's been strange how much they've liked Greg Dulcich over Judy, over Hemler, over Sutton. They probably like him the most. It's weird. But he has had 3 straight games of over 10 DK points going against the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, Travis Kelce just went off against them. A defense in which can get beat by the tight end. They love him there. He's playing a lot of snaps, around 80% of the snaps, maybe 70%. It kind of depends on game flow a little bit. But 5 targets and 9 targets the last 2 games. Just been a solid producer. I like him a lot as a play. And then I do want to call out Tanner Hudson, who was a value play for us 2 weeks ago. Obviously, the Giants had a bye. Very cheap price point for a guy that, is a pass catching tight end. Okay, 5 targets in that game, ended up with 8.8 DK points, ended up playing in 72% of the snaps. Now, maybe Daniel Bellinger is active in this one, and then we're not playing Tanner Hudson, but currently at 2.6, he is someone that I'm going to be looking at on this slate. Unless we get news that, he's for sure not going to play a lot, but that's TBD. As it sits right now, I'm going to assume Daniel Bellinger's out, and I'm assume that he's still going to get over 50% of the snap. And then from there, obviously, might not be able to fit Diggs in there if you want to fit in Barkley and Etienne. So maybe go Chris Olave and then try to get lucky defensively with the Vikings. I never care about the defense, guys. I try to play the lowest price defense that's not going to go negative. Let's see. The Vikings haven't went negative this season against Detroit. When they gave up 28 points, still had 2 DK points, so we're going to roll with them. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this coverage. If you did, you know what to do. Please give me a like and subscribe. That helps the channel, which helps me be able to help you guys out. All right, let's have a good slate, guys. If you guys want to become a 9 to 5 member, links in the description below. Gives you access to the NFL DFS DraftKings lineup optimizer. It is a golf membership. I just want to remind people of that with like NFL and NBA DFS lineup optimizers available for those members as well as like an add-on for them. All right, thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.